Hey everyone, Joel Viner here. So, I know it's been about a month since I've last did a video. And I've been meaning to do a video for a while now, but I really just haven't felt up to editing videos. I've got videos ready to go. I just haven't felt up to sitting down and editing. So, hopefully you guys have been well, because it has been a rough year for everyone. Um, But today I just thought I'd tell you a bit of a story time. A true story time as well, at that. So, I saw on Facebook something to do with the government. As you know, there's been a lot going on in Australia at the moment. And anyway, there was talk about one of the smaller independent parties wanting to bring back guns into the country because our government basically brought in, well, I don't know if you could call it even a law, because we haven't had a government since 1973. It's all been corporation. Um, but the corporation basically brought in a law that no Australian can own a rifle without a license. So the government, I think it was like in the 90s, late 90s at that, um, said to everyone, hand in your guns and you get a cash prize of whatever the amount was. Well, my dad wasn't stupid. He kept his guns. And when he died, I got to see them. He still had a few. Um, but it got me thinking about something that my mum was telling me about when I was like 5 years old, or even 3 years old, I should say. So, back in the 80s and the early 90s, everyone had guns in Australia. Um, my dad used to grow marijuana. He used to grow a lot of marijuana plants. Um, and we lived in a place called Getty's Place. And it kind of, like, the way that the street was done, it kind of reminded me of, like, the street from Neighbours, that little round cul-de-sac kind of thing. Um, like that. So we lived, like, towards the top end of that little round bit. Anyway, there used to be like a triangle field out the back of us, and then so the houses went along that way, and then the highway went along that way. So anyway, my dad used to sell pot, and it was very well known. And there was times, and my dad is when my dad was alive, he told the story quite a few times as well. But people used to jump the fence and try and steal the plants. And he was telling me there was this one guy, a Chinese guy, had jumped the fence, and my dad, not being stupid, and protecting what is his, um, basically sat out the back every night because he knew they would be coming for it. And there was one night that he actually shot someone. Um, I don't know if he injured him or not, but apparently he hurt him pretty bad, from what my dad has told. But yeah, it's just interesting, like how the world has changed, because, you know, I mean, obviously back then it probably wasn't as regulated by the police, which is another corporation, by the way, just to let you know. Um, but, like, my dad used to sit out every night, and there was a couple of times where he actually shot a few people. Didn't kill them, not that we know of. Um, Who knows? It doesn't matter because he's dead anyway. So even if the police came around to my place and started questioning about what my dad did, the bastard's been dead for over almost 20 years now. So good luck trying to, arrest a dead guy. But anyway, doesn't matter. My dad was a pretty shady person. There was times my mum had told me this after he died. Um, I think my sister had just been born, or might have been before. I can't remember. It's been a while since my mum told me, but um, there used to be some random people used to come into the house, and once a week, and they would sit at the kitchen table, and money was exchanged, and there was a lot. Like, we're talking like a few $1,000s, each week. How the hell he never got put in jail, I don't know, but, you know, obviously it was a different time back then. But, yeah, my dad was a very shady person when I was younger. And, I don't know, just the thought of, I hadn't even thought about that stuff in years, and then when I saw the thing on Facebook about, the independent parties are wanting to bring the guns back, I thought, wow, that's so cool. And to be honest, the way our corporation of a government's going, people need their guns back. They need them back, because if the government, the so-called government, knew that our population had guns, they would not be trying to pull the shit that they're pulling now, because they'd be too scared. As they are, they're too scared of the population at the moment, because we're starting to rise up. But, yeah, they would be a lot more scared of us if we had guns. And this was their intention the whole time, to de-arm the population, and then, we've lost most of our liberties because of, our rights, because of, we've just been too stupid, and we took comfort instead of our rights. Everyone lived in a dream world. So it was kind of nice to, think about those times, and and think about what my dad used to do, and yeah, I don't know. It was just a different time back then. I mean, you didn't even have to register a car, for goodness sake, back then. I think that only came in the 80s, so late 80s from memory. So, it was a different time, and I mean, obviously you wouldn't get away with it now. Um, that, and people had more money back then, so you know, if you're a pot seller, or what should I say, marijuana seller, you'd make decent money back in the 90s. From the stories that I've been told, you would have made decent money. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm rambling now, which I tend to do. But yeah, I have a new video coming out next couple of days. An ABBA review CD kind of thing. I've got a spiritual type video, and also a Mandela effect video, and I also videoed a performance, so I'll just put up a small section of that, because yeah, I mean, it's just not something I really want to put up, but but I love this woman's voice, so I'll put up a snippet of it anyway. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good day, and I will see you all very soon. I promise not to leave it as long as